I marvel at the ignorance of some people who would say that the Black Panther Party of that time period was a hate group. I just am blown away by those people. What's up, everybody? I just got finished watching Judas and the Black Messiah, a movie that I was real excited about. Probably last summer when I first saw the trailer, and I'm here to give you my thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. We do movie reviews, we do spoiler chats, we do breakdowns, we do trailer reactions, we do everything we can to bring more movie content and discussion to you. I remember I did a trailer reaction for Judas and the Black Messiah, and when I did that, I had a lot of assumptions in that breakdown, and I thought quite a few things about quite a few characters. The one thing that I remember and that really stood out to me about the movie as I watched it, and I thought to myself, yo, I'm really wrong here, it would have to be the fact that the Wild Bill character to me just never fully grasped the movement like I thought he would. In watching the movie, in watching the trailer, I thought that Wild Bill would get attached to the group, love the group, and then regret, informing on the group. But it appeared to me that throughout the majority of the film, the only thing that he was concerned about was his own safety and his own finance, which is something that I didn't see coming from him. Lakeith Stanfield did a great job. The movie was a great movie. I guarantee you that this is gonna be in my top 5 movies of 2021. It has to be. It was that good. I would have to give it a 9 out of 10, hands down. Another thing I mentioned right at the top of my trailer breakdown is that I said the Academy is going to find a way to not give these guys their awards. And while that is still possibly true, because I don't know where this opened and when it opened and was it in front of screens, the requirements are weird this year because of COVID. But watching my trailer breakdown, I said them boys needs awards, right? And I kind of don't feel like those boys needs awards. I feel like there's one person who does, and that is Dominique Fishback. Now, I first saw Dominique Fishback in Project Power, and she stood out in that movie. That was an okay movie. Nothing in comparison to this one. The thing about her in this one is that I feel like she popped every time the camera was on her. Like, she stood out. You can tell from the moment she's on the screen that she's going to have a huge role in this movie, whether it be romantic or whether it be just included in the movement. You knew her character was gonna have some weight to it, and I don't think that was just the way the frames were shot. I just knew she had a big role. She didn't appear to have a big role by the trailers, but she just had an awesome performance, and I feel like she even outshined Daniel Kaluuya at certain points in the film. Specifically, the one I'm thinking about is that poetry monologue when she was sitting there reading that poem. Powerful stuff was being said. At the moment toward the end of the film where Daniel Kaluuya is killed, discipline, she embodied discipline. To me, she did an excellent job. I feel like if you giving out supporting role awards like Best Supporting Actress, you got to look at her for this, because she did great opposite a superstar in Daniel Kaluuya, and debatable, but I feel like also a superstar in Lakeith Stanfield. She held her own on every time she was on the screen with those guys. Now, talking about the movie content itself, not necessarily the technical aspect about the acting and the shots and stuff, just more focused on the movie and its content. I marvel at the ignorance of some people who would say that the Black Panther Party of that time period was a hate group. I just am blown away by those people. I've had a few conversations online, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, just different places, of people coming in with assumptions about the Black Panthers because they only know the Panthers of today, or they only know surface level stuff that the news media tells you about the Panthers, and never have researched and looked into things over time. I teach history. I'm a fan of history, so I know that a lot of the things portrayed in this film are actual factual things. Not things made up to romanticize the Panthers, but actual goals of the group that were clearly stated over the course of history. And to me, it just blows me away that there's gonna be a segment of the population that won't watch this movie, or they'll watch it with almost a snide type reaction to it. They'll look at it and think oh, they really made Fred Hampton look good. No, Fred Hampton made Fred Hampton look good. the Panthers of that era were really about their business to a certain extent. They did have a few flaws. There were some things that, I didn't agree wholeheartedly with everything. But as a whole, this group would have done way more good than it did harm. And I feel like this movie did a good job in showing their intentions. Second thing that I have to say is that it really angers me that our United States government officials, heads of the FBI and things like that, it upsets me that they look at us like that. Like we are the enemy. You cannot have one of these people earn too much admiration of his own people. You cannot have one person be looked at as a savior of his people. That's too dangerous. It's like why they so scared of us? Why are they so hell-bent on not seeing us unify and uplift ourselves? And to take it a step further, if you watch the film and you see how Fred Hampton kind of united poor whites, blacks, Hispanics, what is so threatening about that? It's upsetting regardless. Finally, the most infuriating thing about this film in general is because it gives you an accurate depiction of the character William O'Neill. And it burns me up that this dude could do everything that he did in the film. Maybe a little dramatization to it, but he did everything he did in the film. Is documented in other documentaries. Even after the death of Fred Hampton that he had a hand in, he continued to operate in the Black Panthers and inform. It pisses me off that money could drive someone to do such wrong to other people. Good people, apparently good people. I don't know anyone, but man, he sure was talking right. He sure made it seem like he had a good goal. For the most part, all it appeared to me like they was doing was feeding kids. And to see a guy say, for the money, I'll tell on anybody. It's like, come on, man. You ain't got no realness in you, bruh? You ain't got no realness in you? Oh, man. It's very upsetting. It pisses me off. Yeah, there can be one of us that operates like that. But it's what happens. Great movie, man. Like I said, 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it. If anybody, in the circles that I run in, I jumped on it so I could watch it and get this review out fast. But if anybody want to rewatch it, I'm down, man. This thing was a very good watch. I'll be doing a whole lot of stuff in the upcoming days. There's a lot of movies and things that's happening right now. Things are looking up for the movie industry, so be on the lookout for anything that I'm dropping. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. Come back and see me on more videos.